Alright students, so we're doing vegetable cookery. So I want to show you guys how to do stuffed peppers two ways. So this is video number one. This is a poblano pepper, one of my favorite peppers of all time. The heat level on this is not too high on the Scoville heat units, but it does put a nice, even warmness in your breastbone when you try it out. Alright, so I've already got one here that I've split. Remember, whenever you're working with hot peppers, you always want to wear gloves. Okay? Gloves are going to protect you from the capsaicin that's in the pepper, in the seeds, and in this white part right here. That's where the heat comes from in these peppers. Alright, so we're going to cut our pepper in half. We're going to pop out the middle part like that. I'm going to get a plate over here, and we're going to just bang our seeds out. Okay? You can always use a big plate to catch the seeds in the beginning, because try to do it over a trash can or a small plate or like a cup. They're still going to go everywhere. Alright, so we're going to pop off the stem, and we're going to take the seeds out. You can usually just top or tap the top end of the pepper to get the seeds out. Alright, you want to make sure you get all the seeds out, okay, just like in these two right here. When you stuff peppers, you want them to lay flat, so these right here, you can cut, I'll move this aside, you can cut a little bit off, shave a little bit off, just to get it to sit flat. You don't want to cut through the pepper. Alright, see that I didn't go through it, and now it'll sit flat. It's not going to sit sideways. The same thing with this one. Alright, we're going to just cut a little bit off, just like that, so it sits flat. And then we're going to make a quick stuffing. Alright, so I'm going to put the peppers aside. I'm going to grab our bowl. Now what I decided to stuff the peppers with is some pulled chicken that I made. So I basically took some chicken thighs, I put them in a crock pot, low and slow for about 2-3 hours with a little bit of taco spice. So that's going to be our protein for the stuffing. Alright, I'm going to add my pulled chicken in. Oh, just about half of it. And you can reserve the rest for tacos. We had tacos last night. That's what I did with it. So I got my pulled chicken in there. Then I made up some Spanish rice. Okay, this has some onions. It has some jalapeno in it. It has a little bit of tomato and some Mexican spice. And we're going to put about half of our Spanish rice in there as well. All right, so we got chicken and rice so far in our stuffing mix. I've got some lovely sweet corn that I grilled, and I chopped off the cob. I'm going to add about half of that in there. Alright, and then of course, anytime I'm messing with sweet corn, I like using a little bit of chopped cilantro. I love cilantro with sweet corn, so we're going to add a little bit of that in there. That's perfect flavor. And I've got some diced onions that I have sauteed. Still a little bit warm. We'll put those right in. I've got some cheese. It's going to help kind of bind it together. We're going to sprinkle some Monterey Jack cheese right in there, and we'll reserve some of this cheese for the top of the peppers. I'm going to put a little sour cream just to give it a little bit of creaminess. And I've even got some queso I'm going to put on the top. Alright? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mix this up with my hands. All right, now you've got gloves on already from working with the pepper. You don't really need to change your gloves. So you're just going to mix that together, get all those flavors in there. Now remember, everything's already seasoned, okay? Our chicken is seasoned with taco spice, the rice the same way. There's bell pepper in it, jalapeno and onion and tomato. We got our corn seasoned with a little bit of salt. There's cilantro in there. There's sour cream in there. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. And of course that cheese to hold it together. Alright, so here's what it's going to look like. And you can make a basic stuffing. I mean, you could use this leftover Thanksgiving turkey. You could use leftover ground beef. You could use ground pork, chopped up sausages. But I really like my poblano stuffed with pulled chicken and rice with some corn and some cilantro. Alright, so I've got my stuffing. I'm going to bring a greased pan in, and the greased pan has a a little bit of salsa in it. And we're going to stuff our peppers, stick them right in the pan. So I'm going to just take my pepper, and what you want to do is you want to push the stuffing down in there and really get it into all parts of the pepper. Really want to fill up that pepper. You can even go a little bit over the top. Alright, the rice is going to help hold that together, and the pulled chicken. You want to just kind of get that nicely stuffed, just like that. Kind of round it off at the top. Alright, and then we're going to just set it right in the tomato sauce. And remember, we cut the base off the pepper so it stands up. We're going to get one of these big ones, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stuff it into the pepper. And the reason I'm making this video is to show you guys, we're talking about vegetable cookery. We're going to show you how to bake or roast these peppers, but they're being used as a vehicle to eat out of. So you're not only going to roast / bake the pepper, you're also going to heat up and caramelize that stuffing. And it's going to taste really good. So you're going to get the heat from the peppers, you're going to get all of the flavors from the corn and the chicken and the rice and the seasoning, and we're going to lay that right in there like that. We take our other oblong looking pepper, we're going to shove the seasoning in there. And you can season this stuff however you want. You don't have to add cilantro. If you would rather add parsley, if you're not a big fan of herbs, if you want to put chipotle peppers in here, anything you want. You can make this spicier than the poblano. If you guys want to add hot sauce to it, whatever you want to put in there. Some people put an egg in the stuffing so it kind of stays together. There's enough stickiness with the cheese and the rice and the pulled chicken, the protein of that I don't think we really need to add anything else. So I'm going to put this one in here, just like that. Move this one up, and we're going to do this last one right here. Alright, if you make a little bit of extra stuffing, don't worry. That can always be used as a filling for tacos or enchiladas or burritos, or you have extra stuffing and it's all cooked. If it's a cooked stuffing like this one, next time you have a salad, just throw a little bit of that in there and mix it up. I mean, it's all protein, it's rice, it's all good stuff. It's all good flavor. Alright, you just stuff that down in there. And the most important thing to remember when roasting peppers that are stuffed, you have to sit them in some type of vehicle like this. They have to be in a sauce so they don't kind of burn to the bottom of the pan. The sauce is going to provide the moisture that we need, so that way that doesn't happen. Alright, so there's our peppers. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to put them in a 350-degree oven and bake them for anywhere between, I would say, 30 or 40 minutes. And at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glaze them with a little bit of queso. Now, this is a jarred queso that I got. Okay? I'll glaze this over the top and hit it with a little bit more cheese and stick it under the broiler. And I'll gratinate the top of the peppers, and it's going to come out bubbly, oozy, and golden toasted brown under the broiler. Alright, so I'm going to stick these in my oven. Liz, can you end the video, please?